Welcome to Stitches in Time, the podcast discussing Doctor Who the way it was meant to be watched, in chronological order, one clip at a time, starting at the Big Bang and ending with the heat death of the universe. I'm Becca, the Matrix Archivist, and I spent the last 12 years of my life meticulously editing the entire televised Doctor Who universe into chronological order.
And I'm Mandy, and if you can believe it, for the first 22 years of my life, I thought I was a heterosexual. If I had seen this clip before, I wouldn't have thought that.
That's quite fair. Colin Baker's an attractive man. No, wait, hang on a minute. I forget which gender is which sometimes.
You have to be reminded what gender your friend Mandy is.
You know what? Sometimes I just like, I know she uses she, her, but that's the female, the woman, and then she would, so she's not heterosexual, then she's talking about these are the math problems I have to do in my head. I don't know if you remember this, Mandy, but last week on the podcast, we talked about math and getting slimed. Anyway, it was so long ago, but we're so fortunate
now we're getting a different kind of slime today. Like a down there slime.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means. And I hope I never have to find out, but I know I'm going to be disappointed.
Lubrication is a very important thing to have when recording a podcast. Particularly with our special guest on today's episode, joining us again, possibly for the last time, as I keep doing this.
Well, it's not you. It's just I keep getting carted off to different letter spaces. I'm currently in J space, so
J space. How is that?
It's all right. I mean, the climate is kind of muggy, so not my favorite. A lot of hair frizz. Not enjoying that bit. Could be warmer, but could be colder also. So it's somewhere in the middle, vaguely.
I don't want to sound racist, but J space looks an awful lot like S space.
No. S space was purple. I forgot which one it was.
I see.
Well, it's just that Becca doesn't see color.
Oh my god, I'm gonna get so canceled by the end of this podcast. So today we're talking about, of course, as you probably guessed, by us talking about how well lubricated our podcast guest is, that we're talking about the two doctors today.
Which from the bat, this is kind of false advertising. I only ever saw one doctor in this entire thing. He spent some time talking about other doctors, but there's only one, which I'm pretty sure is just every clip is the one doctor's.
Yeah. Well, except for, I don't remember if it was the last time we saw Colin Baker. So anyway, our listeners, we're talking about just the clip of Colin Baker and Peri fishing. I cannot talk today. It's so, I just want to say the word fish as soon as I try and say Colin Fisher's name.
You're not innocently employed in catching fish, are you?
They're just lazy today. Any angler will tell you there are times when nothing will tempt them.
Colin Fisher is his name now.
Yeah. So we have the return of what appears to be our last incarnation of River Song that we saw of the fish that was crushed. But apparently, lo and behold, she survived. She survived.
I don't know if that was the same fish, Mandy. I don't know if I can get on board with this.
Oh, is it like her children or her, I guess there's been some generations. Like, it's like a granddaughter at least.
Sure. See, okay, this is the problem with this podcast is we have so much lore that is specific to Stitches in Time that if our guest has not listened to the entire podcast, including episodes that like we've recorded but have not released yet, then it's
well,
it's
that's
be...
that's why you have me here, to provide the recap and to help Mandy-splain us all a thing.
Exactly.
So, Ivy, if you have not caught up with Stitches in Time, first, how dare you? Second, so River Song, who you may know through the BBC Doctor Who timeline, watching it through Stitches in Time, you see her first incarnation, which was a fish with legs that we saw very briefly next to a foot that was heavily implied to stomp out the light that was River Song, and then presumably she would regenerate into the woman that we all know and love. But it appears that she may have either she survived or she like lived on just enough for her legacy to continue on.
I'm very curious. Does this imply that Amelia Pond gave birth to a fish with legs? Or was it hands that you said?
We have not got there yet. Amelia Pond is too busy fucking herself to worry about other people in any way, shape, or form.
Okay.
That's as far as we've gotten with Amy. She has mostly just shown attraction to herself.
Yeah. Even in the clip where Rory is also there.
Can't falter.
She's a very attractive woman, and if I looked like that, I would be attracted to myself. Although I look like this, so I'm also attracted to myself. I'm for those of you who only have audio on the podcast, I'm really fucking hot.
Can confirm.
Yeah.
I gave 2 thumbs up for people on audio. I don't know why I just did a only visual thing when you are speaking to the people only with audio. Just to clarify.
Ivy agrees but doesn't want you to know.
No, that's why I clarified.
Yeah, turns out we only have attractive people on this podcast, so congratulations, Ivy.
Yay!
There's a rule in casting.
Mm-hmm. Mandy, do you wanna continue your mansplaination of
okay.
What's happening here?
So it is the doctor, and this is Colin Baker,
Mm-hmm.
right, correct? Colin
Yes.
Baker, who is in the BBC timeline is the 6th Doctor. In the Stitches in Time timeline, I do not know which Doctor he is.
Ben made a spreadsheet that they sent to me. I'm gonna find it and
but Colin Baker is sitting and fishing, and Peri has taken her top off to go swimming and to show us her rack mostly. There wasn't much of a point of it, but also I have no notes. 10 out of 10 best episode that we have.
The only note I wrote down is I have a comment to make that is destructive to the feminist movement. And that is all I wrote down for Peri in that segment. What that comment is, you can speculate. I won't tell you, but you can speculate.
It's okay. It's after the election. Feminism is over. So it's
done now.
Fine. Yeah.
Oh,
but also, controversial, I think that maybe a lady could be sexy and take her top off for me to ogle. But also, I can appreciate when later on and she says smart words, I appreciate what the smart words are. I don't remember them because I am stupid. But I appreciate that she said smart words, and I acknowledge that she is intelligent and smart, and also has a phenomenal rack. And that, it's the nuances of a hot lady. Anyway, so she goes swimming, she, has her top off. She puts her top back on, because she's, kind of frustrated with, I don't know why we're here, doctor. Why are you just fishing? And he's like, I'm fishing because look at this big fish. And he doesn't catch a big fish. He catches River Song, who, as we all know, is an itty bitty fish.
Not so little at all by the feel of this. It might be a record.
Oh, wow, Doctor. That must weigh very nearly an ounce.
I know he it takes it off and just tosses it back. For some reason in my mind, he also gives her a little smooch, which I don't think actually happened. But in my mind, he took her off the line, gave her a little smooch, and released her to go be like, go get big like salmon. And then they go inside the TARDIS, and Colin Baker has low blood sugar, so he immediately falls over and gets back up, and they're concerned, and he's like, I remember being other doctors and having instruments sometimes.
I had a clarinet. Or was it a flute? Something you blew into?
A glass of water.
Water? No, don't think so.
Oh no, we should press a button, and that's the end of the episode.
Yeah. That's true. Mandy, I love that your brain just edits kisses into everything you watch. It's perfect.
Smooch the fish. It's like, at this point, I don't really write fanfic as often as I used to, or really as often as I want to. But partly it's like my brain just does it and it gives me the scene. And I don't need to sit and write that. It lives in here now. If you want it, then I don't get a drill into my mind. And that's how you can have that.
I feel like one thing, because I just am replaying the clip for myself right now. One thing I really want to highlight is there's a moment where the Sixth Doctor, he takes off his visor and he sort of tosses it at his umbrella, but it misses. And then I don't know if it was a Sixth Doctor thing or a Colin Baker thing, but he gives this really sarcastic thumbs up that it just really spoke to me as an individual. He does the thumbs up and the awkward smile when he passed somebody in the grocery store, and I really loved that, and it really spoke to me. And I even wrote it down on my notepad because it spoke to me so viscerally.
Of the Bakers, I know popular consensus, everyone loves Tom Baker, and people do not like Colin Baker. And
I love Colin Baker. What do you mean?
And Colin Baker, it's so much of I feel like he wants me to hate him, and so if I do hate him, that's letting him win. And it's no, nah, buddy, we're gonna be friends, and you're gonna fucking hate it.
I don't know. So I have to say, this is only the third episode with 6 that I've ever watched. Fun fact. But I don't know. I kind of like his little antagonisms in a way.
Yeah. Colin Baker is also the origin of my partner Ben Paddon, enemy of the show. Ben Paddon now has to tell every actor who's played the Doctor that I am a stripper. And that started with Colin Baker.
Yeah.
As they got stuck in an elevator with Colin Baker, and Colin Baker asked my partner, where are you going? And they said, my, at the time, girlfriend is in a pole competition. And Colin Baker looked at my partner and said, your girlfriend is a stripper, and seemed very enthused by that. And I'm not a stripper, I am a supporter, but I do not do that as my day job. I have a regular day job, and so that is not sex work, but support the troops. But we now tell every Doctor that story because it seemed to make him so happy about the idea that I could be a stripper. And even more so when I did get to meet him 2 years later at Gallifrey, dressed as Peri, and be like, hey, when you met my partner, and my partner said I was a stripper, that's me now. And he was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Just as a side note, are you going to Gallifrey 1 next year?
Yes.
I try to go every year. I got this at Galley. It has
so good.
Galley on the back. So we'll have to see if we can link up.
We will. That's how I met you.
Yeah!
Good times.
That's how I met everybody in the Doctor Who community at this point, because I was just a recluse for my first year back.
It's just a great time. I finally had money, so I bought my ticket like a week ago. So it's official.
Yay!
And this year I won't be crippled.
Oh yeah.
Good.
That was...
You had your own ooze last year.
I had so much ooze last year. It was so gross.
We linked up this year, didn't we?
Yeah, I saw you briefly.
Yeah, we did. Okay. Yeah, okay.
You were leading a group around.
Yeah, I had my little ducklings for sure this past, and I will have another group of ducklings. I'm pretty sure this year. I'll just have ducklings every year.
I mean, do you just collect Doctor Who fans? And
No, I rope more and more of my friends into going is what happens.
Perfect.
So, like timeshare salesman, I'm like that, but for Gallifrey 1.
Perfect.
Yeah, I keep trying to rope people into just, you don't have to go to the convention, just go to the hotel bar. There are a lot of people hanging out. Because that used to be what I did before I started actually going to because I've only, officially gone twice, I think. Before that, I used to just sneak in.
Amazing. I've also only officially gone twice. And I've never unofficially gone, though. I wasn't cool enough.
Yeah, I've unofficially gone many times.
Incredible. Yeah, so this is the Two Doctors, which is a Colin Baker and Patrick Troughton thing, which we still have not seen Patrick Troughton on
Really?
Stitches in Time. Yeah.
No.
I'm actually surprised by that.
We've heard him, haven't we? We have not heard Patrick Troughton. We've heard the second Doctor, but not from Patrick Troughton in the the Zoom ones. Was he in the Zoom ones?
Yeah, he was in the Zoom one. They're all in the Zoom ones, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not Patrick Troughton.
No.
According to Stitches in Time, Patrick Troughton is the second actor to play the second Doctor.
Right. Now, here's the interesting thing about this clip in Stitches in Time, because we've previously only seen Colin Baker twice. Once was the Vengeance on Varos Tales of the TARDIS.
So he started off as an old man and got young.
Yeah. And the other time was in The Power of the Doctor, where he was also an old man.
So this is his first time being just a young guy.
Yeah, this is the first time we're seeing him in the coat.
He took the substance. And he's on that 1 week on, 1 week off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a miracle. He's also talking about, now I find this very interesting, especially in the Stitches in Time thing, because we did talk about Power of the Doctor. Power of the Doctor, the clip specifically where Sacha Dhawan's Master Doctor sits on that asteroid and plays a recorder, and
so that's why we know about the recorder.
Yes, and that's what he's talking about. He's when he's like, oh, all these past people have been me. He's talking about that scene. Then that's canon, and I don't care to discuss.
And be like, I've been Sacha Dhawan before.
We need a Stitches in Time wiki so that we can keep track.
We really do. I feel like I should be the person to make it, but I already...
No, we just have to bully Ben into doing it.
That's true. Or maybe Ivy can do it. Ivy?
No, I'm trapped in J-Space. We don't have spreadsheets. We don't have spreadsheets here. That's like the one defining... how there's, sometimes in some multiverse media, there's like different multiverses for canon events. The canon event for J-Space is that spreadsheets were never invented.
Okay, so you just can't.
I only know about them because I was just in S-Space, which the S stands for spreadsheet space.
Oh my god.
So that's how I know about them, but the people here, they don't know about Microsoft Excel. They don't know about Google Sheets.
Oh.
They don't know. Just over the head. Yeah.
I should have asked you last episode. You would have been all about it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You would have been just like, yes, I will
the timing
totally.
would have been just right.
I will be the webmaster of your wiki. That will be great.
Yeah.
I feel like listeners, any listener out there has my blessing to start a Stitches in Time wiki.
Yeah, I really want whatever comes out of my mouth, because I'm certainly not keeping track of anything that comes out of my mouth. I am taking my perfect cocktail of substances to ensure that I never remember what comes out of my mouth. So having a record of that can be held against me in court, go for it.
Mandy doesn't even subscribe to the podcast, which is really upset about.
I subscribe and I download every episode, and when I get the episode, I take it and I scrub through to the end. That way I want those KPIs. I want the KPI showing that we've all listened to the episode. It is not tracking that I listened to it at the speed that it was meant to be listened to. I'm getting all those KPIs, Becca.
All right. I appreciate you, I suppose.
But if I hear myself say things, I'm going to die.
I often,
fair.
unless I'm editing a YouTube video, I don't re-listen to anything I say because I hate listening to my own voice. So...
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's hard and it's painful. Every time I'm editing this podcast, I'm just like, Becca, have you ever spoken words before? Like, it's not even just the sound of my voice, it's the rhythm at which I speak. It's just
yeah.
everything. I'm just
I get what you're saying completely.
Cutting out gaps and...
Yeah.
I always notice when I do YouTube videos, I don't know if I want to say this because I don't want other people to pick up on this, but I always start a sentence or a clip with like the same couple of words, and so when I'm editing, it's just like,
oh gosh,
it's like, why am I doing? And it's been like that for 4 years, and it hasn't changed. I could probably change it if I put effort into it, but I won't say what the words are because that way people will have to watch my videos and find out.
That's the sort of thing that the people who actually like watch your videos enjoy that about you.
Oh,
because that, and
thank you.
I say that as like
because I hate it.
Yeah, because you've become conscious of this thing that you do, but because like think about the YouTubers that you watch kind of regularly. They have certain phrases that they say, and sometimes they learn how to market them, and then it's like, I'm putting that on a t-shirt. But that like the things that you know about them is for them doing specific things, and that's the things that you like about them. So even if it's like a frustration point for you, it is something that the right audience, that is the stuff that they're going to like, or is going to be the particular things.
It's branding.
Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind. This is part of my brand, saying the word over and over again. I won't say which one. Again, people have to watch my YouTube videos. Sometimes I cut them out because I'm like, I've said this in the last 3 clips. This is how I've started each clip. If you watch all my videos, you can collect all 4 of my secret phrases that I always start clips on.
Oh my gosh. I love this. I love this so much. Ivy, it sounds like your YouTube channel should also have its own wiki. Based on the deep lore that we're getting right now.
Oh no, each of my cats can get their own wiki page. I think, oh yes, all 4 of them have now appeared in my videos. I did a segment for the recent season where they, kind of like the Puppy Bowl, where they predicted whether the episode was going to be good or bad. So all 4 cats have appeared.
Oh.
In protagonist Ivyverse content. The protagonist Ivyverse.
That's amazing. I love that. I love that for you. I think that's great.
Yeah, we need to really hire some people to get on these spreadsheets. Again, I can't. There's no eligible people around because I'm currently in J space where there are no spreadsheets.
Yeah.
I forgot for a second.
The J stands for just no spreadsheets.
Just no spreadsheets.
Just don't worry about those numbers.
Just Word
I
documents.
think it's about 8.
Just
I think it's
Word
about
documents.
8.
Yeah.
I love that.
You know what? Adric would have survived that in that universe. You wouldn't have worried about it.
Would have. Adric is alive in J space.
Adric is alive in J space.
Some big Finnish writer just, like, woke up and was like, J-Space, Adric is still there. And also there's no spreadsheets.
Yeah, I would like to present my new OC, Jadric. It's Adric, but he hates math.
Yeah, in J-Space, everybody's name starts with a J. Like the Kardashians, but with J's.
Jim Jardashian.
Yeah, Jim Jardashian.
Jortney.
Chloe.
Oh.
Oh my
And
goodness.
Jim, who's about to go on a journey with gender.
But that's gender with a J.
Yeah.
There is a lot of, like, kind of meat here, if I am thinking about it in terms of, particularly the Stitches in Time. Because, again, our last viewing of it, it was still older Colin Baker, and he was going off with Peri, and we kind of talked about, like, oh, they were doing some stuff. Like, they were in the memory TARDIS, and they're like, we're going off, we're having shenanigans. And so this seems like part of their shenanigans of, he's just like, oh, I also want to have a fishing adventure. I'm gonna take the substance, have the younger version of me rip out of my spine. Spoilers for the substance. And then I'm gonna spend a week being young and fishing and looking not super hot. The substance didn't work real well on me. It worked a little bit, okay?
Mandy, okay, I don't know what this substance is. Maybe it's just really good skincare. Maybe that's all it is. Maybe he's finally moisturizing. And that's why he looks 40 years younger in this clip than
Why
he did
he
in the
looks
last time.
7 years younger.
I don't think he looks that old here. I'm gonna jump to the defense. I don't think he looks that old here.
I don't think he looks that old. I don't think he looks that young either.
I think you're subscribing to unrealistic beauty standards, Mandy.
I think I'm subscribing to...
It's okay, because we killed feminism.
Yes. Sorry, I forgot. In J-Space, feminism doesn't exist.
Oh, it don't really exist in any space anymore, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, sad but true. Sad if true. Sad but true. I think it is interesting. You said this was his third time appearing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's really funny if the first time we've seen him from the Stitches in Time perspective, it's like, we're going off and having all these adventures, and then it's like, actually pause. We gotta go fishing. Gone fishing.
Gone fishing.
The women want me, fish fear me.
We have to go on all these adventures, and this is one of them. And that's why maybe that's why Peri is so salty in this
Yeah, because
episode.
he's like, we have to go on these adventures,
Yeah.
but we have to fish first.
Because she was talking in that clip about how she's like, yeah, I'm like a warrior queen now. I'm like this badass. And now here she is. I don't even think there's a second fishing pole in this scene. I think it's just Colin Baker decided, I'm going to go fishing. You can do whatever you want. And she's like,
In fairness, she could also have been fishing with her bare hands. She's a warrior queen. Maybe that's what she was like, I'm just diving in and I'm getting them with my teeth.
It'd be really funny if she actually did that, but she ended up scaring all the fish away, which is why the doctor has no success in fishing, because Peri scared all the fish away.
That might be it. That might be what happened why there are no fish.
I think it's canon. I think Peri scared away the fish.
That's canon. Here's the thing about Stitches in Time lore, is that all you have to do is say, it's canon, and it's canon.
Okay, well, it's canon that Peri scared away all the fish, and then came around complaining about how the doctor hasn't got any fish yet because she doesn't understand the pro-fishing techniques that the Sixth Doctor has.
Maybe she caught a bunch of fish in her teeth. Maybe she was just like,
maybe she ate all the fish.
Yeah, she ate them all. And was like, did it purely underwater so we don't even see them.
Yeah,
it's
and then
just
like
shows
up
dead
and is like,
fish.
Doctor, what? Like, you
What
don't
happened?
even know how
There's
to
no
fish.
fish here. I don't get it.
You're really bad at this.
You gotta get them in your teeth. Nom, 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 nom. And then you're good.
She's
Put
gonna
your shirt
win
back
at
on.
the fish eating competition at the state fair.
You can't even throw a visor on an umbrella.
Yeah. And that makes sense, because then afterward, Harry's good. Like, she's like vibrant and so great. And the doctor
And he
passes
faints.
out because he hasn't eaten and his blood sugar got real low.
She's had like 10 fish, whole fish, giant salmon, giant bass. Perry ate all the Gumballjacks, and the sixth doctor now cannot fish for any because she ate them all. She decimated the local population of Gumballjacks. The whole environment is going to topple, and the doctor cannot get any Gumballjacks to cook them and pan fry them in their own juices.
Honestly, if you're like, okay, let's go on a bunch of space-time adventures, and the first one is the doctor just being like, I want to go fishing. That is exactly how I would exact my revenge. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
I do. I was so caught off guard by how specifically and passionately the doctor described cooking the Gumballjacks. Like, it was passionate. There was a lot behind that.
Cleaned, skinned, quickly pan-fried in their own juices till they're golden brown. Ambrosia steeped in nectar, Peri. The flavor is unforgettable.
I won't discuss the whole episode, of course, because this is all we're seeing, but this cooking description was very passionate.
I mean, I have to presume that all that happens is they go back out and fish again, and then it becomes a cooking episode.
I mean,
it goes from being our beach episode, and they do the blindfold, and Perry tries to smash her watermelon, and then they got back and they do the fish, and now it's a cooking episode, but it's like competitive cooking, and he's showing off how to really slice that fish.
The Two Doctors is a cooking episode in the darkest way possible.
It really is. I was very much caught off guard. I knew nothing about the episode going into this, by the way, except for the fact that it was Tula and Jamie and Perry and Six. So I was very caught off guard by just how much of the episode was centered around food. I was very caught off guard. I think I literally wrote, hang on, let me consult my notes.
Which? Funny
restaurant scene is what I have written. Which, of course, we haven't seen that yet. It hasn't happened.
No, we don't. We've only just got cavemen. We don't got restaurants yet. Restaurants take so long.
Traveling throughout all the various alphabet spaces, I have become privileged to knowledge that Becca and Mandy have not experienced yet.
And we will kill you for that knowledge.
The wiki explanation of why I brought up a restaurant.
Well, again, I have said on this show, I acknowledge that that characters in Doctor Who time travel. I just don't want to time travel with them.
I'm really stuck on the having to remember what a recorder is by going, I used to hold something and blow in it. Was it like, it's a blowing over here? Bloop, bloop, bloop. It says, woo. Woo, like a clarinet, like no, it was way more annoying. It was a recorder.
I'm surprised Kazoo didn't come up as a potential option.
Yeah. That's like, speaking of montages, we should have just had like a like the dress up montage, but it was him trying different instruments to figure out which one of these feels right.
Yeah. Which one of these wind instruments is going to be my personality for the next 300 years?
Just a lot of times sucking on the reed.
I just want one clip of Colin Baker just playing Careless Whisper on a saxophone.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Harry's sitting on a couch going, yeah, no.
Just giving him a bunch of sarcastic thumbs up.
I was doing my dishes earlier, and that song started playing, and I was very caught off guard. It came up on shuffle, I was like, oh, looking around, like, just
All
changes
right.
the game a little bit.
The Sixth Doctor at some point brings out like his Rolodex of people.
Yes, they were. I remember. I know what you're talking about. She was like, "You need to get medical attention. Like, you should go see a doctor because you're collapsing." And he just brings out this like giant flip book full of doctors.
Right.
He says it's doctors, but then starts bringing up people that I don't believe were doctors.
I'm pretty sure Christopher Columbus was not a doctor.
No.
I love how they said
Christopher Columbus? He had a lot to answer for.
I love that they added that in there.
I really like that too. Doctor Who has always been woke, even in 1985.
Exactly.
Yeah.
God, I can't believe they brought in politics into my cooking show. Everything is so woke these days. I just wanted to learn how to cook a gumblejack, and now I gotta hear about Christopher Columbus.
Well, you know who else was really excited to cook a Wumblejack? All those indigenous people that Christopher Columbus killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just like rattles off a bunch of people, like famous people from history who are not doctors.
Yeah.
And then
Like, I think you got your directory mixed up.
weird little moments.
Well, what is the Doctor if not a weird little guy?
Mm.
Yeah.
Weird little guy who doesn't know shit.
There was a quote I wrote down that I really liked from this scene, and I'm hoping it's from this scene, and I'm not just pulling this out of nowhere, and it's from a different part of the episode, but I'm pretty sure it was from this collection of scenes. The Doctor says,
Well, what's the use of a good quotation if you can't change it?
Oh,
That is
yeah.
I
in
wrote
this
that
episode,
down.
yeah.
I'll be writing that in Circular Gallifreyan later for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll do an
love that
intentional
too.
typo just for the meme.
You should do it, but attribute it to like the Fourth Doctor or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was in the scene itself, and it was because the Doctor brings up a quote of like, fishing's great. Everybody loves fishing. Quote from God. I'm obviously quoting him, and what's the point of a great
Right.
quote if you can't
Yeah,
change it?
Right.
And Perry's like, oh, that quote was about money. God said, money's totally awesome, right? And
Yeah.
the Doctor's like, shh, don't talk about that. I wanted to talk about fishing.
Those are all verbatim quotes from this show.
Yeah. Can you put that in Circular Gallifreyan? Can you put, shh, I'm talking about fishing?
I'm talking about... I'll write it down. I'm writing it. The pen is out. It's going on the notepad.
What's the use of a decent quotation if you're unable to alter it in any way? The Sixth Doctor. After the election, I've started, because I also write some things in Circular Gallifreyan, but just...
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know this.
We should be best friends.
We should. I made a live, laugh, love sign.
Did you?
yesterday
That's amazing.
In Circular Gallifreyan. Hang on.
I was just like finding quotes that were like, I need some like hopeful and or like fight the power quotes.
Yeah.
And I posted one to Instagram on the Who Stitched thing, which was the First Doctor from the Censorites. I don't make threats, but I do keep promises, and I promise you I shall cause you more trouble than you bargained for. And
Oh my gosh, I didn't know you did. Oh, that looks amazing.
It's good.
I'm gonna have to check. I've been writing in it for so long now, and you should join the Discord.
I didn't know there was a Discord.
There is a Discord. The creator, and by the way, Circular Gallifreyan is now canon. I don't know if you missed that. It's now
What?
canon.
Tell me more.
So Doctor Who, it's on Ncuti Gatwa's Sonic Screwdriver, the 15th Doctor Sonic Screwdriver.
Oh.
There's typos, which is unfortunate, but it is on there, and it is the script created by Lauren Sherman in 2011, which it looks like
Amazing.
you used.
Yeah, that's nice.
And they made their own translator for it, so it's now canon. They've claimed it as Gallifreyan.
Amazing.
And now the creators, Lauren Sherman, And Circles, they weren't originally involved, but they are now involved with it, so it's now canon. So
That's amazing.
Yeah, everything
Nice.
we've made is now written in a canonical script, which is cool.
That's so cool.
The thing that I want more than anything else, and my main thing is I do not know. I feel like 3D printing is probably the best method in order to get what I want, but I want big hoop earrings that encircular Gallifrey and just say like bitch or Latina.
Well, I'm planning on making some keychains and stuff, so maybe I can fit that into it and give it to you as a gift.
Big earring. And I'll say it because like I've been to Galley and like there are jewelry vendors there, and I was like, that's what I want. And first they do little ones. They do little dainty, very sweet, cute things, and it's like, and it has the doctor's name. It's like, I don't want that. I want it to say honey.
Yeah, Becca, I'll send you the link to the Discord and check out your Circular Gallifreyan, because I love it. I'll show you my Live, Laugh, Love sign.
I would love to see it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in the art show at Galley next year. So
that's so exciting! Congratulations! Yeah. I'm excited to buy everything you make.
Thank you. I am gonna bring a Live, Laugh, Love sign and let people bid on it. It's gonna happen.
That's that's perfect.
But yeah, I loved that quote, and between that and the scene, the little bit with the thumbs up and the really sarcastic smile, I did love the scene. And one of my favorite things about Classic Who is that we get so many of these weird domestic slow moments where you're just watching the Doctor fish, basically.
Yeah. That is kind of the benefit that you get when you're telling stories over we're doing like multi-episode arcs. You can somewhat feel them of like, well, we just need to fill an episode. And sometimes that is bad. Sometimes it is, we have to go through a forest. Oh, we got to go back and do that. So we're going to have an entire episode where we just go back through the forest again. But it does allow for opportunity of like, oh, we're just gonna hang out and fish for a while. Like, you have rooms for things to breathe.
Yeah.
They've gone fishing.
And I think that's like kind of the fun thing, I think, also about the Stitches in Time order is that like you can just have those moments exist on their own. You don't have to be, okay, we're rushing off to it's like, no, let's just have a little episode about.
Well, because that's basically what Peri's doing. She's like, why are we still fishing? Can we please go somewhere? And the Doctor's like, no, we gotta use up all the runtime we can, Peri. You don't understand.
You don't understand. This is a 3-parter, and
each 3-part was like longer than usual. They were like 46 minutes, at least when I watched it on Tubi.
Yeah.
That's how it was split up.
This might have been because there was one episode or one season of Colin Baker where they were like, let's try doing 45-minute episodes or 50-minute episodes instead of like 25. And it was weird.
And they decided, no, let's not do that. And also, let's not have Colin Baker anymore.
And they were like, we gotta make 2 changes to the show. No longer run times, no Colin Baker, and we're good. Which is unfortunate.
Well, the first 2 changes they make is no longer run times, and let's do an entire season arc that's Colin Baker on trial. Which honestly, I love. Like, that's my favorite thing about Colin Baker is Trial of a Time Lord, because I'm like, I can't imagine any other Doctor being...
I'm honestly really excited to get there because one of my favorite Doctor Who things of all time is the Gallifrey audios from Big Finish.
Oh, nice.
And one of the main characters in that series is the Inquisitor, Darkle, who's
amazing.
Played by Linda Bellingham, I think is how you say her name. So I'm very hyped to get... I don't care about quality at all. I just want to see her. So I'm very excited.
It's so good because it is just Colin Baker on trial in front of a bunch of Time Lords, and he's just so Colin Baker about everything, and it's delightful. And I'm just like, you couldn't put Patrick Troughton in that situation.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just verbally berate Peter Davison for 14 episodes. Like, that's just not gonna
I
work.
can verbally berate
I
Peter
know
Davison
you
for
can.
14
I'm talking about
episodes.
people.
He needs to atone for his crimes. He killed that boy. He killed that boy.
I have not seen a Fifth Doctor episode in full ever yet, so
Well,
I don't know what crimes he's done.
The thing
my
that
gosh.
you need to know about Peter Davidson is he killed a boy. He killed a boy. He killed a
The
boy.
doctor,
Ivy,
of
when
course, I'm
you
assuming.
get caught up on all of the Stitches in Time lore, you will see
That man killed a boy.
what a true monster the Fifth Doctor is. He was also like our own. No, he wasn't our only. I think he was our most recent like full story that we did was Time Flight, and that's just. I mean, a lot of it is overshadowed by the fact that the Master is doing extremely problematic yellowface in it, but also
and
Oh,
technically
no.
some responsibility. The boy did show up and say, "Hey, if you walk through here, you'll kill me." And Tegan was like, "Okay, cool." So she also shares a little blame in killing a boy.
True.
Oh, Tegan.
but he's
They-
also really mean in that episode.
They got together, they high-fived, and they go, "Let's kill that boy." And the It's Always Sunny theme started playing.
The gang kills that boy. Ivy, tell us a little bit about your YouTube channel before we say goodbye.
Okay, so my YouTube channel, I always say that I upload YouTube videos sometimes because it's a hobby, it's not something I do full time. But I've been mainly doing reviews, but I've also been doing trying to do a little bit more video essay type stuff. I've also got some funky one-off videos, such as a video where I talk about the Circular Gallifreyan Translator that just came out. One where I talk about, I think it was on the CBBC, but it's a show called Leonardo, about a young Leonardo da Vinci, and whether or not that was supposed to originally be a show about the young doctor. So a lot of random one-off videos combined with reviews that I try to make really silly and special, and that's kind of what I do over there when I'm not trapped in alphabet space.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That all sounds lovely, and I can't wait for all of our listeners, once this episode ends, to go to your YouTube channel at Protagonist Ivy.
Yes, and don't forget they have to do the scavenger hunt to figure out the 4 common phrases I always start off every clip with.
Yeah.
You have to use that to, like, unlock the code that will get
For
you
all
to
the other
the
videos
secret
I've
episodes.
actually been making.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I actually have
Those
been
are-
making weekly episodes, but you have to use the 4 phrases to unlock all of them.
Well, if any of our listeners want to leave one of those phrases as a 5-star review on this podcast, we'll check with Ivy and see if you got it right. And
Yeah, it's like a
I don't know.
sweepstakes.
yeah,
And if you leave it as a 3-star, we'll find out where you live.
Yeah, we'll find you. We will find you.
yeah, awesome. Well, thank you for joining us. And next week we're going to be talking about Doctors Assemble again.
Again!
See you then. Bye.
Wow!
Thanks for listening to Stitches in Time. Music by Becca the Matrix Archivist. Art by Mandy Oquendo. Logo by Ben Paddon. Did you know you can listen to this podcast with your eyeballs? Subscribe to us on YouTube. Amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like I've gone to film school at this point.
This qualifies you, actually. Just like talking for for at least an hour with a film student.
Now give
Yes.
Becca $40,000.
Okay. I don't have that kind of money in Jay's
It's
space.
okay. It'll be in
Inflation's
installments
awful
of
here.
$400 for the rest of your natural born life.
Fine. I'll just have to work my way out of J space, pull myself up by my bootstraps, and get to L space, and then I can make those payments on time, I'm sure.
When I woke up Wednesday morning, my first thought was, I'm going to be paying these loans for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm. It's a great time to be an American.
It really
Hey,
is,
Bones.
especially because K9
K9
is
Top
running
Dog
for election.
2012 USA.
2012 USA. 2012 USA. K9. K9. I feel like for the people who are listening to audio only, we should specify that I am wearing a shirt that says K9 Top Dog 2012 USA. I'm not just saying this out of the blue. There is relevance.
I need to be clear, we have not started the podcast yet.
Okay.
We haven't, but I will. I am
It will
probably
be
gonna.
in there anyway.
I'm probably gonna
As
put that after the credits. Yeah.
End credit scene, no context.
There are every so often there are things that happen. Like I'll like put some, like I'll just always put stuff at the end of the credits, whether it's like something that happens during the episode. Sometimes it's something that happens like right when we hit record. And then sometimes it's like so much stuff that the post credits thing is like 15 minutes long. All right.
Yeah, I've heard tell that sometimes our post credits is longer than our episodes.
I mean, for a podcast that sometimes we talk about clips that are 4 seconds, and sometimes we talk about clips that are an hour and a half.
Yeah, I feel like that
I think
counts.
it's pretty on brand.
Yeah.
I think it was Rassilon who once said, "There are few ways in which a Time Lord can be more innocently occupied than in catching fish."
That's a whopper.
Where?
Welcome to Stitches in Time, the podcast discussing Doctor Who the way it was meant to be watched, in chronological order, one clip at a time, starting at the Big Bang and ending with the heat death of the universe. I hit my microphone in the middle of that, so I'm going to take it again.
Yay.
Serious actor, voice actor. Welcome to Stitches in Time, the podcast, the ASMR podcast, discussing Doctor Who, the way it was meant to be.
You gotta do the nail clacking.
In chronological, I don't have very good nails, but in chronological order, one clip at a time, starting at the Big Bang and ending with the heat death of the universe. I'm Becca, the Matrix Archivist, and I spent the last 12 years of my life meticulously editing the entire Doctor Who universe into chronological order. Sorry. Okay.
I was trying really hard not to make any noise. I was like watching my audio line, like don't mess with it, don't mess with it.
I'm not going to use that, but for some reason, I'm really glad I recorded it.
Finally you'll sleep.
Yeah. I'm just not going to cut any of this out. It's all post-credit stuff.
There's no introduction.
Yeah, no, I think this, honestly, we talk about post-credits being longer than the actual episode. I think this might be that episode.
What is all this fishing stuff anyway?
It's restful, relaxing. I think I've been overdoing things. I haven't felt at all myself lately.
Oh no, Kevin's going for the printer again. Hang
No,
on.
Kevin. God damn it, Kevin.
I'll just have him like this.
He's perfect.
Does Kevin have a Hitler stash?
Yeah, no, stop! You're not the first person to say that. No.
And
Leave
the
him
Chaplin
alone.
stash.
It's a Charlie Chaplin stash. Everything's
Leave him
fine.
alone.
It's all very
He doesn't.
appropriate.
He's just a cat. He has no.
Can I get you anything? Celery. That's what you need.
Celery. Yes. And the tensile strength of jelly babies.
If we're this loopy, and this is the second episode that we're recording.
You'd think we'd had drinks before this.
I know.
Oh,
definitely-
you think
Wait,
we
that
would?
makes it sound like we have.
Oh my
I
gosh.
haven't, at least.
I had a beer with lunch today, so
I have water in my Gallifrey coffee cup.
oh hell yeah. Oh, I love that. I also have water in here. In my heavily stickered, I've got an asexual TARDIS. I've also got Ben and Mandy. There's Mandy.
Give
There's
me.
Ben. Who else do
I have technically water is the first ingredient in this.
Good.
That makes it healthy.
The second ingredient is alcohol.
I have Europa, my favorite moon of Jupiter, which is made of ice, which is basically water. So, Ivy, what's your favorite moon of Jupiter?
Also Europa. Coincidentally.
What a coincidence.
Is one of them Io? I feel like there's an Io in there.
There is an Io.
Yeah!
We found Mandy's. Mandy hates consonants. All right. Anyway, I'm going to start recording the podcast. Here we go.
Sit down! They're executing me! Except it wasn't that way. It didn't end like that. So it's not possible.
What is impossible?
But I exist. I'm here now. Therefore, I cannot have been killed then.
Harry's good. Like, she's, like, vibrant and so great. And the doctor
And he
passes
faints.
out because he hasn't eaten and his blood sugar got real low.
She's had like 10 fish, whole fish, giant salmon, giant bass.
Yeah,
What is
like
the
she
name
was
of
getting
the fish?
fresh sashimi.
I had TARDIS Wiki open. She has had, pause, pretend that there is no wait to find this. She has had
I will
10
edit out the weight in the actual
Gumble-jacks.
episode, but then I'm going to put the whole thing in at the end of the episode.
Perhaps you should see a doctor.
Are you trying to be funny?
No, it's just a suggestion.
Actually, that's not such a bad idea.
If you watch all the videos, my cat is making a noise with her collar. If you watch all my videos... Nico, please! I can tell which cat it is, by the way. I think we're safe. I'm the type of cat mom where I know exactly which cat is going through the hallway. Samson and Nico are wrestling right now, and I can tell based on the sounds that each of their collar makes.
That's amazing.
Dante, Da Vinci, Dastari. Joinson Dastari, HP1, head of project, Space Station Chimera, 3rd Zone.
I just got jump scared because it started playing another clip. And I was like, wait, I don't remember that happening, because it didn't.
What are pin galaxies?
Oh, well, they're galaxies within the universe of the atom. Difficult to study. They only exist for 1 attosecond.
Kevin is eating paper. I'm so sorry. Kevin, please stop. I will feed you when it's time.
Doctor, are you all right?
Of course I'm not all right. What happened?
I think you fainted.
I never faint.
Oh my god.
Kevin has broke back into the room and is
What?
now trying to eat paper again. Kevin, please. Mommy is doing something right now. That's
wonder
very
he-
important. I'm in Jay's space.
No wonder he keeps trying to get up that printer. He just loves paper so much.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Well, he does this fun thing when I haven't fed him yet. It's not time, by the way. I'm not just like a neglectful cat mom. It's not time. Where if he thinks I should be feeding him, he'll find paper and just like he'll put his paws on it and then grab it with his mouth and tear it. And shred it up, whatever paper he can find. So I'm sure there's paper in the living room right now that he is just destroying.
Well, I am a horrible cat mom because it definitely is time. And they are not getting fed right now. Do we want to wrap up this episode?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a good segue into the end of the episode.